Hello there, welcome into the latest edition of the SAU Softball Coaches Show. I'm Daniel Gallegos, joined alongside my head softball coach, Jason Anderson. Coach, this week's Coaches Show, we're about the halfway point of the year, particularly in the conference season. The stretch run, looking at it at the schedule at the beginning of the year, we all kind of looked at it and knew that your schedule was going to be backloaded at the end of the conference schedule. And this is the first weekend where that's actually going to be true. The competition, everything's elevated, starting first with Henderson State coming up at home. First, let's take a step back and we'll talk about the Ouachita Baptist series. Unfortunately, only able to get in 3 of the 4 games, but 3 more victories for you and your team, and you wound up actually completing them all in one day. The first day was suspended due to rain. You pick it up, 11-3 victory, and then a pair of shutouts in the regularly scheduled Saturday afternoon game. Talk about that series as a whole, picking up those 3 wins.
Well, of course, you go in, and anytime you can get 3 wins in one day is always awesome. But like you said, we started Friday, was able to get 3 innings in, had to suspend it because of rain and weather, come back on Saturday, and we finished that game and then played the doubleheader. But it was a good weekend all around. Got the sweep and told the girls, you don't know how many games we play. If we play 3, play 4, whatever, you obviously want to win them all. So we were able to go get the 3 wins. Got really good hitting in all 3 games, scored a lot of runs, and then threw 2 shutouts. 2 out of 3 of the games we threw shutouts, so we got it done in the circle as well. So those were big wins for us. Every win's big in conference this time of year, like you said, with our schedule we got coming up. So it was a good weekend for us.
You know, and then some of the bright spots, obviously you touched on the pitching, the couple of shutouts on Saturday, and then coming back and completing the game on Friday. Beasley in that one wound up picking up 10 Ks in that first game, even though it stretched over 2 days. But offensively, one of the players for you that really stood out over the weekend, Brooke Goad, and she was honored as co-player of the week for her efforts. Just a monster offensive weekend, and her being the leadoff hitter, how important is that to know, like, when she sets the tone of the weekend she has, obviously the success? Well,
obviously, like you said, when she's swinging it like that, and she's obviously the leadoff hitter, so she's going to get more at-bats than anybody on our team. So when she's hot, she can really hurt the other team. She did have a great weekend. Offensively, she hit a couple doubles, hit a lot of home runs, and she got walked a lot. The intentional walks, let's pitch around her and make her swing at our pitch, and she did a good job watching the ball and getting on base. But her numbers were there. And then as a team, those behind her have been picking it up. Taylor Gwynn had a good weekend. Maddie Dow had a good weekend. Darian Harris had a good weekend. So these girls, I want to say the top of our lineup hit over 400 as a team or something like that. So when they know that Brooke's on and they are going to try to pitch around her, it's going to be up to the 2, 3, 4, 5 to make sure that they're not able to do that. But a big weekend offensively for everybody. I thought we, as a team, did situational hitting very well. We had some sac flies. We moved the ball around, got a bunt down when we needed to. So I think overall that was the reason we scored so many runs. And then when you get that kind of production in the circle, it makes it for a pretty easy weekend.
I mentioned off to a great start for the season, over 20 wins so far, 15-2 in conference play. The conference regular season is going to come down to percentage points with some games lost on conference weekends due to weather. But you sit right there within the top 3 of the conference. Is this where you thought you'd be at this point of the year?
Well, we went into the year. We set goals at the beginning of the season, and we look around as a coaching staff. You look at what you feel like your personnel is, where you're strong, how you've gotten better from last year. Then you sit down and you set goals. And our goals for this team were very high expectations. Our goal was, first of all, to go undefeated in our non-conference season for region games, and we did that. Our next goal is to finish number 1 in the regular season in conference, and I think we put ourselves in a position to do that. Then, of course, we would like to win the conference tournament and move on and go to regionals and super regionals and things like that. So, yes, I felt like we would be here. I think we're right on schedule with where we felt like we'd be. Like I always say, the GAC is a tough schedule, having to play the 4-game series every weekend without weather getting in the way, and you get into 4 games. So there are going to be some hiccups along the way. I think overall we've had 1 bad weekend, really 1 bad game, because even our second loss was a 1-run game, and we were kind of right in it. So in 25 games, if you've had 1 bad game all year as a coach, you're going to be happy with that. But like you said before, moving forward, we've got our work cut out for us. Everybody, if you looking at just where the standings sit as they are now, we have everybody that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably the top half of the conference from the standings point now is who we have left. And that's a good thing, because we control our own destiny. If we had already got through it, and then we're hoping that somebody beats somebody or does some stuff like that. So we can go out and we can win these series, and then we'll like where we sit at the end of this conference.
The upcoming series, again, Henderson State coming in for a 4-game series being played Friday and Saturday, games at 1 and 3 each day. Saturday is going to be a very special day. Bark at the Park.
Yeah.
Had great success with it last weekend at baseball, bringing it back to softball again. this Saturday. A great fundraiser, all the money going to H&P Animal Alliance in town. Talk about the atmosphere that kind of generates, knowing that not only their dogs around, but the free admission and the great crowd that it brings.
Well, we want a big crowd. It's a big weekend. Henderson's the defending regular season champs in the GAC. They didn't win the conference tournament, but they did win the regular season last year. They're not too far from us, kind of right up the road. Beat us a game in the conference tournament last year, so I think the stage is set for us to really go out and get some wins. Or the plan is to go out and get some wins and play hard, but I think it's great with the Bark at the Park and what it does. It'll provide that environment, and as a team, a lot of the players on our team are big dog lovers, so their parents are excited about being able to travel the dogs with them and bring them out, and I think it'll set up for, the weather's supposed to be good. We're looking at 70s right now, but it'll be a nice day, and I think it'll be an exciting atmosphere for us to hopefully go out and win a series.
And touching on the Henderson series, inside the matchup, one of the things that really stands out from them, particularly from last year back into this year, is their pitching. Michelle Sorensen was the freshman of the year, pitcher of the year last year in the conference. She's back. They also have Ashlyn White and have added a couple of pieces. What kind of problems does Henderson State present, knowing that they're coming in, defending GAC champions in the made of regional?
Well, I mean, they're going to come in ready to go. They're coming off of a sweep of Monticello this past weekend, so they're on a little hot streak right now. They're going to play hard. They're going to pitch it well. Like I said, we know that anytime Sorensen's in the circle, they got a chance to win, and they really do, and I think they know that as a team. So what we've got to do is figure out a way to score some runs, and then our pitching's been pretty good and pretty consistent. Our pitching and defense has been really well, very well this year also. So I think if we can put some runs on the board and turn it over to our pitching and defense, we're going to be fine. But it should be a good series. Should be some exciting games, a lot of back and forth probably, and the plan is for us to go out and come out on top.
I appreciate it very much for your time again. That's head softball coach Jason Anderson. He and his Lady Mill Riders are back at home at the newly constructed SAU softball complex, almost 100% done, so we're getting very close to that, excited. And again, a field dedication will be coming up later, so be tuned for that. But again, they are taking on Henderson State, 4-game series starting Friday at 1 and 3, and then concluding Saturday at 1 and 3. And don't forget, Saturday is Bark at the Park Day, so free admission into Saturday's games. We will be charging $10 admission, though, for every pet that comes in, and we'll also be taking donations throughout the game, the doubleheader, with all the proceeds going to H&P Animal Alliance in town in Magnolia. So, Coach, we appreciate it and best of luck.
Thank you.